Hi, and welcome to Manifesting Magic. So today I have Tabitha here, and we're going to talk about grief and the holidays because I talk an awful lot about how amazing the holiday is and how, spread the cheer and smile at everybody. And although I still believe that for sure, I know that not everybody has as an amazing time during some of the holidays. They may have a great holiday, but there's also other things on their mind. So Tabitha is one of my very good friends, and she is here, and she's going to share some things with us that she goes through. And Tabitha is an amazing person. I could go on and on. She is a health advocate, a mental health advocate, a women's sexual health advocate. There's so many things amazing that she does besides just even reaching out and helping people. But Tabitha lost her daughter a couple of years ago. And honestly, she is such an inspiration to me.
And my daughter was 24 when she passed away. She has a son that is now fixing to be 6. He's my joy, my whole heart. She was in medical assistant. She only had like a month left to go. She lifelong, born and raised in St. Augustine.
So she but you guys were close.
Yes, we were very close. She had issues with drugs. So during her drug use, we were not close because I always knew things that she didn't want mom to know.
So. If you don't mind me asking, when do you think, I know it's hard to tell as parents, we think we know everything sometimes, although we know we don't, especially when it gets to be in high school or teenagers.
Right.
But when do you think that started, the drugs?
She was 15.
I have heard so many great things about Sherry, and I unfortunately didn't get to meet her in person, but tell me some things about her personality.
She was very outgoing. She loved everybody. She made friends very easily. Everybody was always attracted to her. She was very beautiful. I even have a modeling portfolio that was hers. She just very kind-hearted, would do anything for anybody, like give her shirt away, that type of.
Right.
She just had an amazing, outgoing, vibrant personality.
So do you think that she veered towards drugs because she didn't feel great about herself?
Yes.
And that's typical for a lot of teenagers.
It really is. I felt the same way when I was a teenager. Like I didn't have a very high perception of myself. Mm-hmm. And the things that, just life in general, and when you're in school and, just everything on top of hormones, and
being a teenager is not easy. And as the years have gone by, it's gotten harder because of social media. People don't even have to look at you to say things or make you feel bad.
Exactly.
And we're trying to deal with ourselves anyway. And whether it be drugs or people know I've had an eating disorder when I was in high school. They're all addictions.
Exactly.
They're all addictions. The cutting, that some people do.
She cut herself a time or two too. So then there's always signs of addiction, but the hardest thing is knowing, is it signs of addiction or is it her depression? Is it just hormones? Mm-hmm. Is it, there's so many different things that it can be. Now I did get the idea that she was starting to dabble in drugs, and we talked about it and stuff. And of course I always got, Mom,
right,
I know better.
Because you don't know anything. Yeah. So then it just basically got taken too far.
Yeah. Way too far. Yeah.
And then that's when.
And a lot has to do with boyfriends and the type of people she chose to hang around.
Right. Yeah. And unfortunately, we don't have control over that after some degree, right? We can tell our kids, this isn't a good idea. I don't feel good about this. But ultimately, it's after a certain point in their lives, we don't have control over that. But
Exactly.
and the pictures I've seen, I can see the joy every time I see the picture. I mean, any pictures that you share, I mean, she's an amazing person.
Yes.
I know she was, and I say she is because she still is, and she's always with us.
Yes, she is.
So what do you think about the holidays? How do you deal with that when it comes around the holidays to kind of keep your spirits up? Or what do you do?
Every day, it's not just the holidays. The holidays are a little harder, but every day I have to start my day in a positive way. Like I have, my planner is called the Passion Planner. It kind of gives me a very positive outlook on how to start your day. I also have a journal that's called, what is it?
So you
5
journal
seconds.
and you
I do,
journal.
yes.
Yeah.
5 seconds to get shit done or something is the name of the journal. It's pretty cool, actually. But I do a lot of, like, I get emails that I'll watch in the mornings.
So you basically have a routine that you start your day off with.
Yes.
To get you in a positive mindset for the rest of the day, every day, which is key. I mean, that's key for anybody. So, excuse me, I can't imagine when every day you wake up, you have to sort of get started again and know that you're in control of the way that your day goes, right? Because you're not in control of anybody else's, but you are in control of the way that your day goes.
Exactly.
So do you talk to her when you wake up in the morning? Do you?
Sometimes, like I will, and it's not really just in the morning. It's like through the day, if I just get a feeling that she's around me, I'll talk to her. I know people probably think I'm crazy, but sometimes I swear she talks back.
Yeah. Oh, I know she does. I know she does.
Well, yeah, she talked to you.
Yes. Yeah. And she has more than once. Yeah. So what kind of things did she love to do around Christmas? And does it help you to think about those particular things that she loved to do? Does it make you feel better?
It does. We have this, she loved Care Bears. So every Christmas I would buy her a Care Bear or two that I knew she didn't have.
Yeah.
You could not imagine how many Care Bears
she
had.
Can't imagine, especially if she loved Care Bears.
Her entire bedroom was Care Bears. It was so cute. Anyway, so I still hold those memories like really close. And the first couple of Christmases without her was really hard not to go buy a Care Bear when I would walk by it and see, oh, she doesn't have that one.
Right. Yeah, but maybe you should buy the Care Bears.
I have a lot already.
I know. Yeah, that's when we have to have our limits, no matter what it was.
But I do have a Share Bear after her. And the Grumpy Bear, because she was always grumpy. Well, in the mornings.
Yeah, some of us are not morning people.
Yeah. Her and I are not.
So what makes you smile every time you think of her?
Oh, just the fact that I had her for 24 years. She was beautiful and amazing. And so just thinking about her in general makes me smile.
So around like the holiday, whereas Christmas approaches, and I know because everybody has a routine, usually a tradition, like you'd have your whole family over or something. So is there something that helps you through that particular
So the first year, February will be 3 years. So the first year I kind of did nothing. Like I didn't do Thanksgiving. I didn't do Christmas. I didn't do Mother's Day. I went and worked out in the gym instead of doing any kind of holidays. And then I met you, and you really helped change like what I needed to do for myself. And yes, Kathleen is amazing. She helped change me from a negative to a positive.
Well, thank you. And the way we met, and we'll just briefly go over this, was just totally fortuitous. And I just happened to walk in to look for clothes for my granddaughter, and we just struck up a conversation and started talking, and here we are this many years later.
Exactly.
So,
yes. It was
everything
meant to
happens
be.
for a reason. And I mean, it just, yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. So the next year, the second year, I decided that I was going to volunteer for Thanksgiving. So that was last year. I volunteered. And then this year I volunteered again. Well, now I am on the board and it is becoming a 501c, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Now, what is that you volunteered for?
It is the Community Thanksgiving of St. Augustine. We did it in the church downtown,
I think I saw
where the
pictures of that.
pumpkins are
Yeah, I saw
usually.
pictures of that.
It will be there from now on, I believe. Don't hold me to that,
That's
but
awesome.
I think it will be.
So it helps you basically to use those times to give back,
yes,
to the community, because then you're helping others. And this is just in my experience from helping with things like that, is some of these same people have been in the same situation that either your daughter was or that you are now, that
yes,
has lost a loved one.
Exactly. Yes.
And so that fill you up inside and makes you feel
it
like
does. Yes.
she's watching down and saying, you got this.
And the community Thanksgiving actually started from Hurricane Matthew. Monica started it, and then of course everybody wanted her to do it again the next year because Irma hit, and so now it's just becoming a every year thing, and it's nice because it's not just for one certain type of person, it's for everybody, it's for the entire community.
That's awesome. So that's what you do around Thanksgiving. And then do you have anything that you do now during Christmas that even makes you get through this a little bit easier?
So first Christmas I didn't do. My next Christmas, we actually changed it up. We invited friends over. I normally would go to my grandmother's and spend it with my mom and my sisters, and but I needed a change.
Yes.
So the next Christmas, the second one, we actually invited a bunch of friends over, and I went and got my grandsons, and my son and a few other people.
Yeah.
We all went to the zoo for Christmas instead of doing
awesome.
normal Christmas. So now this year I am going to my grandmother's because I feel,
it's time.
It's time.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Right.
I mean, I will never be okay, but I'm okay.
So basically what seems to help you get through is starting off the day on a positive note, knowing what's possible instead of what's not possible, right? Thinking of everything that could happen instead of the things that you don't think will happen.
Exactly.
And then in a positive way. And then also just changing it up some.
Yes.
And thinking of happy memories.
Yes.
Because nobody can ever take our memories away.
Exactly.
Ever.
And one of my biggest fears is not remembering her voice, or remembering something that we did as a family, or I don't think that'll ever happen, but it's like a huge fear.
Right. So. Well, I don't think that'll ever go away.
No.
I mean, she's always still talking to you.
Exactly.
I've never met her, but I feel like if we compared what her voice was, I think that's the voice I hear.
Right. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Sherry and I have always been very intuitive, very, she actually told me one time to cut the umbilical cord, Mom, because I could tell her what she's going to do before she does it.
Right.
I could always just know where she was. Even if she told me she was here, I knew she was here. So it was always a very, very bonding, intuitive relationship. So there is no doubt that she comes to you, and it is definitely her voice you hear.
So I think this is really helpful, though, to give, a bit of a story about how it's not always great for everybody, but you can make it great, right? Because we can't go back and change those things in the path of what happened.
Yes. Something else that helps me get through is I don't dwell on the past. I mean, I keep good memories, but things that if we got in an argument, I don't dwell on if I could have done something different.
Right.
And her having a drug addiction and doing the things that she did, it's very hard as a mom not to look at myself and say, what did I do wrong? Is there something else that I could have done? But I choose to move forward and not think of the negative things and just remember the positive things.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot.
So one more question. What was her favorite part of Christmas?
Christmas morning. She was very spoiled.
Yeah.
And even as she got older, we would go shopping together and I would still wrap her presents and put them under the tree. Now, and of course, I would throw a Care Bear or two in there too that she wouldn't know about.
Yeah.
So
now, she has a son. So you, at least, I'm sure that when you see him, you must see her. I know when I see him, I see her.
Yes.
I see that the resemblance is amazing.
Yeah, the only difference between her and him really is he's got lighter colored hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
That is like the only difference. And of course, he's a boy.
Right. But that's such a blessing that is a part of her that is with you. And you make such an impact in his life.
He is like one of my main reasons for doing a lot of the things I do. And I do get him up until Christmas Eve. Like, he started school this year. Yay, so exciting. So I'll get him from the day he gets out of school until Christmas Eve, and then he'll be with his dad and that family from Christmas morning,
Right.
So.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate too all that you're doing to volunteer. And I know that Sherry's guiding you to all of these amazing opportunities because you definitely have a guardian angel.
I do.
Watching over you.
I definitely do. She's always with me. I actually have angel wings in my car that has her ashes in it. And I have a pendant with it that says, my angel always watching over me, or something similar to that. And then I have this necklace that my sister gave me. It's actually a angel, a baby angel, with the Serenity Prayer on the back of it. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So,
well, if anybody has, any questions or anything, you can message me and I can get them to Tabitha, or message Tabitha if you have access to Tabitha. Tabitha also has, you want to tell us about the Sharon Sisters?
Yeah. So I have a support group that I started. It's called Sharon Sisters. It is for anything you may ever need support for. Like if you just want to talk about something that's going on in your life, if you need to cry, scream, whatever. I actually have a website that has that on it. I also have a blog called Her Mom. I do not always blog. I just kind of have to, when I'm in that mood, is when I write a blog. So it just kind of, whatever that day is what I write about. And it's normally about Sherry or drug addiction or suicide or something like that. And my website is tabithadingler.com, so you can go check it out. But it has all that information on there and a way to contact me.
Yeah, so if you need any suggestions on maybe how, if you're going through something really tough right now and you need some suggestions on how to carry on, feel free to reach out to Tabitha.
Absolutely.
Or myself, and we can help guide you in the right direction, because everybody's situation is unique. But by taking from what some other people have done, it helps us to create our own unique routine and path that works for us long term. And exactly. I say long term, but that needs to be tweaked as you go along too, right? Because I know that that's what I do. That's what Tabitha does.
Exactly.
And we all have to work this on our self-perception. We all have to work on how we feel about ourselves, because this affects every single thing in our lives.
Yes, it does.
And it starts at a very young age. So just keep that in mind when you have kids, start working on their self-perception, help them work on that as well. Yes. So thank you very much, Tabitha, for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. And please reach out, contact us, and we will talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.